All right, so I'm going to choose myself. Let's see, I'll be probably about 72, go 73 kilograms. And let me pick there's a couch behind me. So I need an approximate mass of this couch. And go with probably about, like 18 kg or something. So this is just an estimate. Just wanting to practice using the formula for the universal force of gravity. So I have to estimate the distance between me and the couch as well. So I'm about 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 4 meters away. I'll go 4.0. Okay, and I think that's good enough to calculate the force of gravity here. So we're practicing using this new formula, which is gm1 m2 over r squared. So the capital G is a universal constant. It has a value of approximately 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11. Get used to using that number for these questions. Okay, then we multiply that to the masses multiplied together, and we divide it by the square of the distance between the objects. Okay, so let me compute this. Okay, so I'm getting 5.5 times 10 to the negative 9 newtons. So about 5 billionths of a newton, which is very, very small. We hardly feel that. And it should be that way because you should not really feel the gravity from a couch. All right, part B. This is a good kind of multiple choice question. What can be done in order to make this force 100 times stronger? What can be done to make this force 100 times stronger? So it's getting you to, well, we need to work on understanding equations a bit better and knowing what happens if we change one variable, how it will affect other variables. In this case, what can we do to make the force 100 times stronger? I'm just going to copy down the equation here. So what can we do to make this 100 times stronger? And what are we allowed to consider? Well, we're allowed to consider any other variables in the equation. So those variables are m1, m2, and r. So if we think about the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation, so we want the left side to be 1,000 times stronger, which means we got to make the right side of that, 100. So we got to make the right side 100 times stronger. And there's multiple ways to do that, actually. So I'll just list out a few ways. Option 1, we could this is not exactly true. We could make me 100 times heavier. Okay, so that's not realistic. I'm not gonna end up being 7,300 kilograms. So actually, that's not a good option. And same with the couch. I'm not gonna make the couch 100 times heavier. If we magically could do that, then actually, we would actually end up making the force 100 times as much. So really, the only realistic thing we can do with a person and a couch is maybe adjust the distance. Okay, adjust the R value. So what we have to notice is two things. The r value is in the denominator, and it's also squared. So if you have a fraction, let's say you have a fraction a over b, and you want to make this fraction 100 times higher, you can either just adjust the numerator and make a 100 times higher, or we can make the denominator smaller. Because if we make the denominator smaller, then the whole fraction gets bigger. So we would actually make the denominator 1/100th as much. If we can do that, then that'll make the whole fraction 100 times bigger. For example, 5 equals 10 over 2. Okay, true statement there. What if I want a fraction that equals 500? I don't want it to equal 5. I want it to equal 500. So I got to make it 100 times more. Well, what I can do is I can change the denominator from 2 to 100th of 2, so 0.02. So by making the denominator 1/100th as much, you manage to make the whole fraction 100 times bigger. So that's what we're trying to do here. We want to make r squared uh, 1/100th as much. So does that just mean I just close the distance between me and the couch by 1/100th? No, because r is actually squared. So I actually need to make r not 100th as much, but just 1/10 as much. Okay, if I can just get a lot closer to the couch so that I'm only 1/10 as far away as I am currently, then the r value will be 1/10 as much, and the r squared value will be 1/100th as much, because 1/10 squared is 1/100th. And that's in the denominator of the fraction, so that effectively makes the entire value 100 times stronger. All right, so it took a while to kind of explain that. Maybe a little confusing, but hopefully you can think about it a bit longer and try to understand that.